Okay, so store procedure, reusable code of SQL logic, and we have this one. You have to mention this language. If you don't mention this, it will not understand where you are running. Okay, so you can run the same code in Microsoft SQL as well. Only thing here you have to write MS SQL and then it should take. Okay, and you have to start with as $2 sign, begin and end, and you will write your logic here. Okay, and then again you will end with $sign at the end. Okay, so yesterday we have seen one example updating the rental rate. Okay, based on the ID, film ID. Okay, so you have to create what parameter you want to pick here, pass the parameter, and then logic you will write here update film. Okay, if you are inserting new value, you have to mention insert film. Okay, set here whatever the value. Say if you have, okay, if you have how many, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, see we have 13 columns here. Okay, out of these 13 columns, if you want to update, okay, insert, sorry, not update. Update means you are updating some value out of any one of this column or two of the column. Okay, taking this ID string, right? When you want to update, insert a new row itself. Okay, so you can see what is the last thousand. We have 1,000 rows, means assuming 1,000 is the last one and the next one is 1,001. Okay, so you want to add a new entry. Okay, so if you use here, instead of update, you have to say insert. Okay, insert film. Okay, and then you have to say, you have to write all 15 columns here. Okay, so you have to copy all this thing, keep it somewhere, and then first you have to declare here in this parameter. Okay, so 15 rows, and then you will write this. Okay, this is one way where you can give the insert control. Okay, so this is about yesterday's. Okay, so today what we will learn is, we will learn triggers. Okay, we'll learn triggers. So let me Okay. Now, in simple term, what is a trigger? I can say a trigger is a automatic function. Okay. It's a it's an automatic function. Okay. Sorry, not function, action. Automatic action executed. Okay. Automatic action executed when a specified event occurs. Okay, in a table. So this is very important. We are talking about table, not the entire database. Okay, say for example, you have a table called payment. Okay, and I have a admin. Okay, I have two, three admins, but I have written a trigger function. If anybody adds or changes, inserts any value or replace any value in a payment table, right? It should give me an alert. Okay, it should give me an alert. Now you understood why we use triggers. Okay, so this is very crucial point. This is very crucial point. Okay, you can tell the trigger. Okay, or we can say trigger is a database mechanism that automatically executes a function. Okay, it's a function that you are writing when it sees someone is inserting into a payment table. Okay, payment table is very crucial, you know, right, and critical. Nobody should touch that table. Okay, if I'm an admin, okay, I'm a super admin. Okay, even for super admin, there is a super admin also. When that person actually does any changes, right, it will maintain a record. Okay, it will maintain a record. So what I have changed. So for example, I'll go to my payment table, okay, where my salary is some XYZ, I can change it automatically. So what happens is next time that gets triggered, that goes to the payment system, and from payment statement, I will get that money credited every month in my account, right? Which is a cheating, right? We should not do it, right? So how to safeguard this using a trigger? Okay. So trigger is an automatic action executed when a specified event occurs in a table. Okay. What kind of action? Before or after an event. Okay. Now what are those events? Okay. Insert, okay, insert, update, and delete. Okay, now insert is adding a new row. Okay, which is again a problematic, right? If you add someone's ID, okay, fictitious ID in the payment table, and you create some duplicate account, what happens? You will get double salary, right? So this should not be allowed, right? So what we have to do is we have to write a trigger, and read access will be given to a finance team. Okay, so read access will be given to a finance team to validate every month how many salaries they are issuing to employees, right? Insert, see, insert is danger, update is also danger, delete is also danger. But you see, select statement, there is no update or a trigger created. Why? Select is just a viewing. You are just viewing your data. You cannot do anything. That is the reason insert, update, delete, these are very dangerous commands. So nobody will allow you to do that. Okay. So here, before and after means before runs before operation, any of this. Okay, after means runs after the operation. So say for example, I have inserted something. Okay, so if I say after, so after insert, it will give me the alert that this table was edited. Okay, so I'll go and check which one is that. Okay, something like that. Now we'll see the syntax. Okay, how to write a syntax. So you will say create triggers, trigger, okay, trigger, yeah, trigger. Then you will give a trigger name, okay, any name you can give. Then you will write your block of code here, okay. So first thing is, like I said here, after, before, okay. So I'll after insert, okay, after inserting a record in a table, okay, on on table, okay, on, sorry, this one is on table name, is a syntax, okay, on table name. And you can also say for each for each row, okay. If I inserted 10 rows today, okay, I want all those 10 rows records that I have inserted, okay. And then you will start again, begin. Here you will write your SQL statement, okay. 1 minute. And then you will end it as usual. And close. That's it. This is a syntax, okay. So create trigger name, you will write for insert, okay. Now if you want to update, after update, okay, you can just change, after update do something, okay, delete, you do something, okay. So I'll show you one by one. On table name, okay, for each row, begin, SQL statement, and end. These are syntax. Okay. One minute, I'll just arrange it properly. Okay. Now here, same thing. Here, see, this is only in the previous statement I just mentioned after insert. So it is not after insert. You can do before insert or update or delete also. You can write all three in one line. Okay. Same thing. Trigger function name, execute trigger function name. Okay. So there are different ways that you can write this. Oh, sorry guys, I got a call. Okay. Now just spend some time on 1 2 examples to help you understand. Okay. So what we'll do is, first we'll take a scenario after update. After update, we want to trigger something. Okay. So what we'll do is, we'll take something called rental. We have rental. Do we have anything called rental logs? No. Okay. So we'll create a table called rental logs. Okay. I'll create real quick. Okay. So this is a table. I'm going to create rental log with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. Okay. If I go to rental log, I'll show you. Okay. So the skeleton is created. Okay. Now, one. Okay. Now I'll create. Okay. Now I'll create this thing. Okay. I'll say create or replace function. Okay. I'll say log underscore. This one is a rental log, right? I'll say log rental update. Okay. So if someone is updating the table, okay, I should get a trigger. Okay. So here, return trigger as, okay, we'll start with dollar sign. Begin. Okay. So I'll create here the logic for insert. Insert into rental. Okay. Underscore log. Then what are the columns we have here? I'll just copy. Okay. One by one. Comma rental ID. Old date. Okay. Old date. New date. New date and change date. Okay. So I'll just copy for the insert command. Okay. Just make sure you type all correctly and in a proper syntax for insert. Okay. Now I want to add values. VAL values. Okay. So here I'll write 1 minute. This is log ID. Okay. Rental ID, old date, new date. Okay. This one and all, it will come automatically. We don't want to do this change at. Why? Because if you see here, we are using a timestamp, default current timestamp. Whenever change, it should come. So ideally, we'll take these three. Okay. Rental ID, old date, and new date. Yeah, that's it. So rental ID values I want to add as old dot rental ID, then I want to add as old dot rental date, comma, new dot new dot rental date. Huh? So this is about, and also return new. Then I will end my statement. Dollar language. Okay. You have to mention which language. Same like in store procedure. PLPGSQL. Okay. PLPGSQL. Yeah, that's it. Correct one. Language. Okay. I'll just end this line and then I'll select this and I'll run it. Okay. So successfully ran. Okay. Now we'll create a trigger. Okay. Create trigger, trigger. Okay. Always start with a meaningful name. If it is a trigger, start with trigger. If it is stored procedure, you can write SP or STP, which you can recognize. Okay. So given some name. Okay. Any name you can give. Then I'll say rental underscore update. After update, rental for each row execute function. Okay. So which one I want to execute? This one. Okay. So you're calling. Okay. This is done. If I go to trigger section, okay, you can see log rental update is created here. Okay. This is also get stored in your database. Okay. So this is how you have to do it. Okay. And if you want to practice, right, whatever the table we created, right, if you can update or insert something, right, it will give you some trigger. Okay. You can write a customize what do you call it, message also. Okay. So that option is also there. So this is very vast subject of triggers. Okay. For example, I want to prevent some deletion table. Okay. Okay, prevent deleting some customer table or whatever. Okay, you can create same like that. Okay, I have already written this. Okay, see, create or replace function. This is prevent customer deletion table. Okay, returns trigger as dollar begin if exist. Okay, select one from rental. Okay, where customer ID is equal to old dot customer ID. So this is we are preventing with this. Okay, if you say where customer ID is existing one, customer ID is equal to 001, it will if it is already there old customer ID that which is already there, then it will say cannot delete customer with rental. Okay, so this message also you can trigger. Okay, this is for customer deletion, this is for customer update, and you can write one more for customer insert. Same thing. Okay, and how do you prevent this? You have to write the other part also. So there are two parts. One is creation part and trigger part. Okay, create trigger, and here you have to call that function. Create trigger, trigger prevent delete before delete on customer. Okay, for each row. Okay, if I'm trying to delete each row, whatever the row, okay, I'm not specifying it. For each row, execute function this. Okay, if your customer ID is matching with old means already existing one. Okay, so this is the logic you have to write here with the where statement. Okay, if that matches, it will not allow you to delete. Here also, if you see, okay, rental. So I have mentioned as values old dot rental ID. Okay, if I have anything, okay, then it will trigger. Okay, and then it will insert. Okay, insert into. See, it will allow only for inserting the old values only. If I'm picking up rental ID, rental date, and new rental date, it will pick, but it will not add a new entry. Okay, so this is where this, and here you are calling this for each row execute function. This one, same thing you're calling here update. Okay, these are the mechanism where you can write your code to uh, preserve the data. Okay, 1 minute, I'll just write down this is triggers. Okay, see this command and all you have to copy and keep it somewhere. Okay, just you have to check. If you know one time how to do this, then second time you don't need to memorize all this code. Okay, generally they will not ask an interview to write this code and all. They'll ask to triggers. What a trigger does. Okay, you have to mention the key points. Okay, automatically executes. This triggers automatically executes on insert, update, delete. Used for data validation and logging, cannot be called manually, and improves data integrity. Okay, these are the 4 points that I can think of. I'll write it down. Triggers after delete, used for data validation and logging. Okay, next one is cannot be called manually. Okay, cannot be called your trigger manually. You cannot run. You have to leave it, and whenever something happens on the table, it automatically triggers and gives a message to the user. Okay, and it improves data integrity. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, data integrity. Okay, these are two, three examples I've shown you. So one is for update, another one is delete. Same thing you can write it for insert also. Okay, just copy paste, prevent this one. See, you check the table for which table you want to add some control. Okay, then you take the table name and you say insert. Okay, return triggers as dollar begin if exists blah blah blah. Okay, this is the logic. You have to write this logic. Insert into. Okay, begin insert into rental log. Okay, you have a table where you have 4 columns, 3 columns. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we are not using log ID. See, you see here, we are using the rental ID. We are using old date, new date. Okay, this one we are leaving because this will come automatically. Okay, so what we'll do is this is about triggers, guys. Okay, now what we'll do is what are the other topics we have? We want to finish it off. Okay, ER model, normalization, and the injection encryption. This one. So we are done up to this. So we will look at this one. Okay, so we'll start with which one? ER model. Okay, so you know what is ER model. Okay, we have already learned what is ER model. Okay, so ER stands for entity relationship. Okay, also we call it as relationship model. Okay, now what does it do is the relational model organize data into tables. Okay, relation made of rows, which we called it as tuples. Okay, rows we call tuples and columns we call this attributes. Okay, so each table, okay, when we talk about table, each table has a primary key. Okay, and can relate to other tables via foreign keys. We have already seen that, right? Okay, I'm talking about this. Okay, so as per the definition, each table has a primary key. Okay, and it will have also a foreign key. Okay, why foreign key? To connect to different tables. So this one is C, this is the foreign key, the silver one. Okay, and this is connected to what is this called country ID. Okay, you see where it is going, you have to see. Okay, and then you can relate all these things stuff. Okay, now you see this customer table. Customer table has primary key and it has foreign key. Where it is going? It is going somewhere up. 1 minute, I'll check this. Customer and what is this called? Address ID small int. Okay, this one's the foreign key and it is connecting to address. You see here, this is a primary key. So when you want to connect or get two tables into relation, okay, one is the table it should itself should have a primary key, and second option is on the other table that you are connecting, it should have a foreign key. Okay, so this is a foreign key for this table customer. Okay, so you will see here. So always, if there is a relation, you can connect these tables and you can uh, get the desired result. Okay, and we also say, and in a table, right? In a table, Okay, if I run this table, okay. Now whatever the rows you see, we call it as a tuple. Okay, and this is a row. In row, we call this as attributes. Okay, this attribute, this attribute, this attribute, this attribute. Okay, and these are all called tuples. Okay, and these are all called tuples. So if I want to connect a table, okay, so schema query tool, okay. Okay, now see here, what I'm doing is here, select c dot first name, a dot address, okay, a dot address from customer table, okay, which I gave a alias name, and this first name is coming from customer table, and this a is coming from address table. Okay, so I'm joining address a on. You need to map it with a common table, a common column in both the tables, which is address ID address. Just now I showed you. Okay, just now I showed you. If I run this, you'll see. Okay, the first name and address. First name and address I'm getting properly. Okay, it will remove all duplicates and all. Okay, so customer and address. There's a customer, this address. So if I want to map all these things and send some notification or gift to their home address, I need these two, right? So how I join like this. Okay, so entity, attributes, then relationships. Okay, and even if you want to connect first name, last name, city from customer and address, okay, address, and you want to connect third table called city also, you can do that. Okay, so you can see here there are two join statement. Okay, this is one, you are getting details of all these things. By adding this, you are getting the address. Okay, address, and by joining city table, you are getting a city ID, city. Yeah, let's see. See, first name, last name, and city. Okay, C stands for customer table data. These two are customer data. C, I is for city. Since city foreign key is not there in customer, it is there in address, and address, these two are matching with customer and address. Again, you have to go beyond another join with city ID, which is there in this one address table, and you're connecting with this city ID, and then you're fetching the information. See, three tables we are connecting and getting the tables. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is tomorrow we'll learn about normalization, normal forms. Then we will finish it off injection, encryption, performance tuning. Okay, all this table, sorry, all this content will finish off, and we'll close this, and then we will start something new topics from Monday. Okay, I'll tell you what topics and all. Uh, and if you guys are interested, you can join. If you are not interested in those topics, it's up to you. Okay. And yeah, that's it. So we're gonna start this next week. So we are gonna close this too. Okay. Chalo then, guys. We'll close this session. Uh, okay. We'll close this session and we'll meet again tomorrow. Okay. Same time. Bye, guys.